Throughout history, humans have sought order and meaning to navigate the uncertainty of existence. Religion traditionally fulfilled this role, offering rules and guidance grounded in divine authority. Despite variations, common themes prevailed across major religions, suggesting a biological or evolutionary basis for this need. However, the developed world is witnessing a shift towards greater secularism, driven by scientific explanations, critical thinking, and moral relativism. Yet, the absence of religious frameworks leaves a void, leading to nihilism and existential angst. In 12 Rules for Life, Peterson argues against moral relativism, advocating for a clear distinction between right and wrong. He posits that embracing ambiguity undermines virtues cultivated over millennia and hampers guidance on ethical living. In the absence of religious guidance, individuals may turn to group-centered beliefs or ideologies for identity and purpose, simplifying a complex world. Peterson contends that people adopt shared beliefs to shield themselves from existential dread, exemplified by the fervor of the Cold War era. Peterson's solution emphasizes individual responsibility, urging individuals to take charge of their lives, embrace the balance between order and chaos, and confront the inevitability of suffering. By fostering resilience and confronting discomfort, individuals can resist the allure of empty ideologies and find genuine meaning in life. The resonance of Peterson's book underscores humanity's inherent yearning for structure and purpose. Through themes of personal accountability and authenticity, 12 Rules for Life offers a roadmap for navigating life's complexities and finding fulfillment. Rule 1. Fix your posture. Others will treat you with more respect. This chapter discusses social status from a biological point of view and how your body language affects how others perceive you and how you feel about yourself. The biology of social status. Inherent biological variations contribute to inequality of ability within species, leading to some individuals commanding greater resources and social status. This quest for status is deeply ingrained in biological behavior, observable even among diverse species like lobsters. In the animal kingdom, signaling and recognition behaviors facilitate the distribution of resources and the establishment of hierarchies, minimizing the need for costly conflicts. Such behaviors involve a series of nonviolent cues and confrontations to determine dominance, with the avoidance of physical combat being advantageous for both parties. Serotonin, a neurotransmitter, is implicated in mediating social status, with dominant individuals exhibiting higher circulating levels. Experimental evidence supports the correlation between serotonin levels and dominance, suggesting a role in social behavior and well-being. Humans similarly exhibit behaviors indicative of social status perception, influenced by interactions and feedback from others. Perception of one's social standing profoundly impacts mental health, with lower status individuals experiencing heightened stress levels and impulsive behavior. Moreover, individuals in vulnerable positions may be more susceptible to depression and substance abuse, perpetuating a cycle of low social status. Feedback loops reinforce perceptions of status, leading to entrenched behavioral patterns that can be difficult to overcome. Understanding the biology of social status sheds light on the mechanisms underlying human behavior and mental health, highlighting the importance of social interactions and self-perception in shaping individual well-being. How body language impacts social status. To enhance your social status, start by signaling confidence through your body language. As Peterson advises, stand up straight, with your shoulders back. Projecting confidence can lead others to perceive you as competent and capable, initiating a positive feedback loop. As you receive affirmation from others, your self-esteem grows, reinforcing your confidence further. Research indicates that changes in body language can influence mental perception. Smiling can induce happiness, while adopting power poses may boost confidence. This underscores the importance of both outward demeanor and inner self-belief. Developing self-respect involves asserting yourself, expressing your desires, and embracing risk-taking. It entails accepting life's challenges, asserting your boundaries, and resisting tyranny. While adopting a confident posture may raise concerns about vulnerability to attack, Peterson argues that displaying assertiveness can serve as a deterrent to aggression. Acting confidently signals strength, reducing the likelihood of confrontation. However, some may question the efficacy of faking it till you make it, considering the reality of inherent abilities and warranted social status. Peterson acknowledges this but highlights the danger of being targeted by individuals who exploit submissive behavior. By initially projecting confidence, you invite positive treatment from others, fostering a cycle of improved social interactions and heightened self-assurance. As you experience greater enjoyment and success, your confidence and social status are likely to further increase. Rule 2. Take care of yourself the way you would take care of someone else. Why people care for their pets better than themselves. The book 12 Rules for Life suggests that people are often better at ensuring their pets receive necessary medications than they are at attending to their own health needs. This discrepancy, according to the author, stems from a deep-seated sense of self-loathing, a belief that one is unworthy of care and assistance. Why self-loathing? The narrative draws on the biblical story of Adam and Eve, positing that humanity's understanding of good and evil originates from this tale. After their expulsion from paradise, Adam and Eve are depicted as naked, ashamed, and resentful, a portrayal that engenders a sense of unworthiness in their descendants. Moreover, historical atrocities committed by humans throughout history contribute to a heightened self-loathing, as individuals internalize the capacity for evil within themselves. In contrast, pets and children are viewed as faultless and innocent, deserving of care and assistance due to their perceived purity. The solution: self-compassion. The author advocates for a shift in perspective, urging individuals to recognize their inherent worth and value. Embracing the belief that they are deserving of care, individuals can alleviate self-loathing and cultivate self-compassion. Treating oneself with the same kindness and care afforded to pets or loved ones involves prioritizing physical and mental well-being, pursuing personal goals, and upholding one's principles. By keeping promises made to oneself and envisioning a life aligned with self-care, individuals can navigate challenges and overcome obstacles with purpose and resilience. Minor insights. Cultural narratives and customs often prioritize survival over objective truth, encapsulating wisdom in stories and subjective experiences. The societal shame associated with nudity may stem from historical customs aimed at protecting the body from harm or maintaining relational stability by discouraging temptation. Rule 3. Surround yourself with people who want you to succeed. This rule is strikingly akin to the timeless adage, "You're the remarkable average of your 5 best friends," with even greater emphasis on why you might persist in the company of individuals you instinctively know are deleterious for your well-being. Do you have a person you spend an excessive amount of time with, who you feel is relentlessly dragging you down, doesn't actively support your personal growth, and whose goals starkly clash with yours? Consider, with heightened introspection, why you still choose to invest your precious time and energy in the company of this individual, despite the palpable toxicity of their presence. Peterson provides 3 profoundly insightful reasons you might still find yourself entangled with such individuals. Sometimes, if you sense that the person is beneath you in status, you may find yourself inexplicably compelled to rescue this person. However, delve deeper and ponder the other insidious, malevolent factors that could potentially be at play. Why you stay with this person. You may possess a deeply ingrained savior complex, the irresistible urge to rescue another individual, which not only inflates your ego but also imbues you with a false sense of virtuosity. The person's perceived lower status may subconsciously elevate your own self-esteem. An individual grappling with a failing marriage might inadvertently make you feel better about the relative stability of your own relationship. Conversely, being surrounded by individuals who eclipse your own accomplishments can be intimidating and unsettling. Subconsciously, you might harbor a desire to assert dominance over someone perceived as inferior, perhaps stemming from a sense of exploitation you yourself have experienced. Engaging in the superficial motions of ineffective mentoring may serve as a convenient distraction from confronting your own reluctance to pursue authentic, meaningful goals. Weak-willed and indecisive, you might find yourself ensnared in the inertia of the status quo, unable to summon the fortitude to extricate yourself from the toxic dynamic. Why the other person sticks around. They unabashedly exploit your generosity for their own gain, and once their needs are sated, they swiftly move on to exploit another unwitting benefactor. Their underlying intention may be to drag you down to their level of despair and desolation, perpetuating a cycle of mutual self-sabotage. They may be oblivious to the detrimental impact of their actions and desperately cling to the illusion of genuine connection, willfully ignoring the reality that they have resigned themselves to stagnation. While some individuals possess the potential for redemption and transformation, others remain steadfastly resistant to change. Attempting to catalyze positive change in individuals who lack the desire to improve can prove to be an exercise in futility. Perhaps they harbor an unconscious belief that they are undeserving of assistance, or they simply lack the initiative to seek it out. In some cases, they may derive a perverse sense of agency from perpetuating the traumas of their past, refusing to assume responsibility for their own actions and circumstances. Consequently, it becomes increasingly arduous to disrupt this foundational layer of dysfunction and compel someone to embrace positive change. However, Peterson acknowledges that genuine relationships founded on mutual respect and a shared commitment to growth are unequivocally worth preserving. Yet discerning the authenticity of such relationships can prove to be a formidable challenge, necessitating a period of introspection to ascertain whether any of the aforementioned dynamics resonate with your own experiences. Conversely, the notion of a savior complex may be wholly irrelevant. Instead, you might find yourselves ensnared in an implicit contract characterized by nihilism and self-defeatism, collectively sacrificing the promise of a brighter future for the fleeting pleasures of the present. In such cases, individuals consciously elect to squander their potential, eschewing long-term goals in favor of immediate gratification. Should you harbor an earnest desire to embrace a new outlook on life, it becomes imperative to sever ties with this maladaptive social circle. Indulging in vice is infinitely more effortless than cultivating virtue. Nihilism offers the allure of apathy. Nothing in the world holds significance, rendering all endeavors futile, thus absolving individuals of the burden of responsibility. It requires minimal effort to embrace a life devoid of purpose, to relinquish the weight of expectation, and to surrender to the abyss of existential despair. Lastly, even in the absence of overt malice or dysfunction, the presence of a negative individual can subtly erode one's sense of self-worth and diminish overall efficacy. Research suggests that integrating a problematic individual into a team can precipitate a decline in collective performance, as the team invariably succumbs to the influence of the lowest common denominator. This phenomenon may stem from a prevailing sense of resentment among high-performing individuals, who begrudge the perceived inequity of shouldering a disproportionate share of the workload. Moreover, individuals who harbor latent insecurities may be inclined to belittle the aspirations of their peers in a misguided attempt to assuage their own feelings of inadequacy. Choose friendships wisely. It is imperative to surround yourself with individuals who uplift and empower you, who share your aspirations and champion your success. In such symbiotic relationships, each individual serves as a catalyst for the other's growth and development. They will not countenance your cynicism or self-destructive tendencies, but rather, they will hold you accountable and support you in your journey towards self-actualization. Conversely, friends who foster negativity and breed toxicity will only impede your progress and hinder your well-being. They will disparage your aspirations, resent your achievements, and endeavor to drag you down into the depths of despair. It is incumbent upon you to recognize the pernicious influence of such relationships and to sever ties with those who actively undermine your happiness and fulfillment. As elucidated in Rule 2, strive to cultivate friendships that embody the virtues and values you hold dear. If you would not endorse a particular friendship for your beloved sibling or cherished parent, why would you subject yourself to the corrosive influence of such individuals? Choose your companions wisely, for they have the power to shape your destiny and define the trajectory of your life's journey. With today's pervasive mass media, it often feels like there's always someone out there who excels in everything you do. Your career might seem mundane, your friends not as captivating or attractive as you desire, your physique less fit than your colleagues, and your athletic prowess lacking. How can you revel in being Prime Minister of Canada when someone else holds the esteemed title of President of the United States? As elucidated in Rule 1, this paradigm is a departure from the natural order that prevailed for hundreds of thousands of years. In ancient times, when humans inhabited small tribes comprising only a few hundred individuals, the likelihood was higher that you would excel in some aspect of life. You would receive serotonin signals from your peers, acknowledging your proficiency in certain domains. Contrastingly, in today's hyper-connected world, you might find yourself inundated with negative feedback about individuals who appear superior to you, while positive reinforcement remains elusive. Comparing yourself to others invariably involves employing an unduly harsh standard, fraught with pitfalls. Unproductive responses. In response to these lofty standards, people adopt various coping mechanisms. The solution does not lie in outright rejection of all standards. Standards serve a vital purpose, ensuring a baseline level of quality and propelling us toward continuous improvement. However, setting unattainably high standards can precipitate a cycle of debilitating self-criticism, fostering feelings of inadequacy and incompetence. Likewise, embracing nihilism and surrendering to hopelessness is not the answer. Adopting the belief that nothing matters in the grand scheme of things is a facile coping mechanism, one that offers no solace or guidance in navigating life's complexities. Nor does the solution entail shielding individuals from the notion of improvement and the existence of standards. Throughout the 20th century, American culture propagated the fallacious doctrine of unbridled positivity, inundating children with ceaseless praise and showering them with trophies, under the guise of fostering self-esteem. Yet, this approach merely obscures reality and leaves individuals ill-prepared to confront life's inevitable challenges. Define your own objectives. Instead of subjecting yourself to the arbitrary benchmarks set by others, it is imperative to forge your path and establish your own objectives. A comprehensive reevaluation of your goals is indispensable, commencing with an introspective examination akin to that of a stranger. This process entails 3 fundamental steps. Step 1. Expand your perspective. Acknowledge that your existence encompasses myriad dimensions beyond a singular pursuit, be it wealth, fame, or status. Embrace the multifaceted nature of your being, encompassing familial bonds, interpersonal relationships, personal endeavors, and leisure pursuits. Evaluate your success across various facets of your life, recognizing that success is not dichotomous but exists along a continuum of gradations. Moreover, refrain from succumbing to the fallacy of binary categorizations, success versus failure. Instead, appreciate the nuances and subtleties inherent in the human experience, understanding that progress is measured not by achieving absolute success, but by continual growth and improvement. Recognize that the idealized portrayal of others is often a facade, obscuring their struggles and failures. Resist the temptation to compare your behind the scenes with someone else's highlight reel, acknowledging the inherent biases and distortions in such comparisons. Step 2. Engage in introspection. The prerequisite for meaningful change is a genuine desire for self-improvement. Engage in rigorous introspection, delving deep into the root causes of your discontent. Identify your aspirations and desires, probing beneath the surface to uncover the underlying motivations and conflicts. Interrogate the validity of your goals, discerning whether they are rooted in genuine fulfillment or societal expectations. Confront any latent bitterness or resentment, exploring avenues to transform your goals in a manner that transcends personal grievances. Embrace the notion of achieving success without resorting to vindictiveness or schadenfreude, envisioning a future where your accomplishments uplift not only yourself but also those around you. Step 3. Reframe your objectives. Translate your aspirations into tangible, actionable goals, imbued with a sense of purpose and direction. Break down lofty aspirations into manageable steps, fostering a sense of progress and momentum. Embrace the philosophy of incremental improvement, focusing on making incremental strides toward your objectives. Negotiate with yourself and honor your commitments, cultivating a sense of accountability and self-discipline. Remain attuned to opportunities for growth and development, recognizing that the journey towards self-actualization is an ongoing process. Embrace the inherent uncertainty and complexity of life, approaching each challenge with resilience and adaptability. Ultimately, Peterson contends that the antidote to nihilism lies in the pursuit of meaningful goals that transcend individual desires, contributing to the greater good of humanity. Embrace the inherent goodness of existence, recognizing the transformative power of purposeful action and altruistic endeavors. By charting your course and defining your own objectives, you reclaim agency over your destiny, transcending the constraints of comparison and self-doubt. Rule 5. As a parent, train your children to follow the rules of society. Children aren't inherently equipped for the complexities of life. This stems partly from a biological necessity. Our evolutionary history dictates that newborns' head sizes must accommodate the birth canal. Additionally, much of human culture evolves at a pace that outstrips biological adaptation. Consequently, as children mature physically, they must also acquire the social and behavioral acumen necessary for navigating human society. This underscores the vital role of parental guidance in molding children into well-adjusted members of society. Parents naturally aspire for their children to thrive, and facilitating their integration into society constitutes a pivotal aspect of this endeavor. Children, inherently inquisitive and exploratory, continuously probe boundaries to ascertain societal norms. Corrective feedback serves as a crucial mechanism for delineating these boundaries. For instance, a child learns that certain behaviors, such as throwing food in a restaurant, are unacceptable through parental admonition. Furthermore, despite their angelic facade, children possess the capacity for malevolence. Left unchecked, such tendencies can impede their moral development and social integration. Failure to provide corrective feedback in response to inappropriate behavior perpetuates misconceptions regarding societal norms, hindering their ability to function effectively within broader society. Parental failures in child rearing. Regrettably, some parents, motivated by a desire to spare their children from harm or to cultivate a friendship dynamic, shirk their responsibility to impart corrective feedback. These parents permit their children to engage in disruptive behavior, such as public tantrums or disrespectful language, thereby reinforcing erroneous conceptions of societal boundaries. In essence, they abdicate their role as primary arbiters of social norms, relegating this responsibility to society at large. However, society lacks the vested interest and patience exhibited by parents. Consequently, poorly socialized children encounter swift retribution from their peers and authority figures, exacerbating feelings of rejection and maladjustment. Such repercussions can manifest as academic underachievement, social ostracism, and diminished employment prospects in adulthood. Moreover, early experiences of social rejection can precipitate a self-perpetuating cycle of maladjustment, engendering chronic psychological distress and interpersonal strife. Shielding children from corrective feedback ultimately handicaps their capacity for self-improvement, impeding their long-term social and emotional development. Teach your child social norms. As a parent, your duty extends beyond nurturing and protection. You serve as a conduit for societal norms, guiding your child toward understanding acceptable behavior. Embrace the notion that sparing children from discomfort ultimately impedes their growth. Instead, prioritize their learning and development, recognizing that transient discomfort can yield invaluable lessons. Inculcate a balanced approach to discipline, one that incorporates both rewards and punishments. Emotions such as sadness and shame serve as natural deterrents, instilling an understanding of the consequences of one's actions. In his seminal work, Peterson delineates 4 principles for effective child rearing. Establish clear rules, albeit sparingly, focusing on fundamental principles of conduct. Employ the minimum necessary force to enforce these rules, escalating disciplinary measures only when warranted. Reinforce compliance with positive affirmations or rewards, fostering a sense of accomplishment and pride. Parenting is a collaborative endeavor, ideally undertaken with a partner who shares the responsibilities and mitigates potential pitfalls. Recognize your own susceptibility to anger and resentment, and guard against allowing these emotions to dictate your interactions with your child. Ultimately, effective child rearing necessitates a delicate balance between nurturing and discipline, fostering resilience and adaptability in the face of life's challenges. By instilling a robust moral compass and social acumen in their children, parents empower them to navigate the complexities of human society with confidence and integrity. Rule 6. Think. Have I done everything within my ability? Life inevitably entails suffering. Inequality in abilities and attributes, unforeseen calamities like illness or accidents, and the perennial gap between desire and reality often render existence a seemingly unfair jest. In response, some direct their ire towards the universe or their deity, while others descend into misanthropy, harboring resentment towards humanity. In extreme cases, this bitterness manifests as vengeful acts, aimed at venting their indignation and defying the cosmic order. Peterson illustrates how such sentiments underpinned the beliefs of the Columbine perpetrators, who sought retribution against those they perceived as wrongdoers. Yet amidst the darkness, there exists the potential for redemption, a chance to glean wisdom from adversity and catalyze positive change. Despite enduring suffering, individuals possess the capacity to transcend their circumstances and contribute to a better world. Before casting blame upon the universe, introspection is warranted. What personal agency did one wield in the face of misfortune? Did passivity facilitate one's plight, or were proactive measures neglected? The saga of Alexander Solzhenitsyn serves as a poignant testament to this ethos. Enduring wartime tribulations and incarceration, he later leveraged his suffering to expose the injustices of Soviet oppression. Recognizing his complicity in the system that oppressed him, Solzhenitsyn embarked on a journey of self-redemption, catalyzed by personal responsibility. Embracing personal accountability engenders agency, the power to effect change in one's life. Conversely, absolving oneself of responsibility perpetuates a sense of powerlessness and resignation. Peterson underscores the importance of readiness, viewing unpreparedness as a moral failing. In times of prosperity, complacency often eclipses vigilance, leading to negligence of duties and commitments. The repercussions of this negligence reverberate when adversity strikes, prompting belated recognition of one's culpability. Peterson contrasts the proactive approach of the Netherlands, which fortifies its borders against catastrophe, with the reactive response to Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans. The disparity underscores the imperative of foresight and preparedness in averting avoidable disasters. Personal rectitude forms the cornerstone of Peterson's philosophy. Ceasing complicity in wrongdoing and embracing integrity heralds a transformative journey towards self-improvement and moral fortitude. By rectifying one's conduct and aligning actions with values of honor and courage, individuals imbue their lives with purpose and dignity. Inculcating harmony within one's household precedes any endeavor to influence the broader community, a principle encapsulated in Peterson's aphorism, "If you cannot bring peace to your household, how dare you try to rule a city?" As individuals embark on this journey of self-examination and rectification, the path becomes clearer, and life assumes a nobler, more resilient hue. Resolute in their commitment to virtue, they emerge unscathed from life's trials, empowered to effect meaningful change. Peterson envisions a world wherein all individuals embrace this ethos, an aspirational vision of collective magnificence born of personal rectitude. Rule 7. Do what is meaningful, and you will feel better about existing. Inevitably, life brings suffering. The universe can appear unjust, and in the grand scheme of things, our actions may seem inconsequential. Faced with this reality, how should one navigate existence? One tempting response is to embrace expedience, to prioritize immediate gratification over long-term commitments. Indulging in fleeting pleasures, disregarding future consequences, and succumbing to base impulses may seem enticing. Yet, deep down, we recognize the folly of such actions. We understand the importance of sacrificing present comforts for future fulfillment, of resisting momentary impulses to secure lasting rewards. Our struggle is compounded by primal instincts honed over millennia, which once ensured survival, but now often lead to self-destructive behavior. On a conscious level, we grapple with fundamental questions. What defines goodness? What actions are worthy and virtuous? In 12 Rules for Life, Peterson approaches this dilemma by positing the existence of evil, a concept universally abhorred, encompassing conscious malevolence and egregious acts of harm. Conversely, good emerges as the antithesis of evil, a force that mitigates suffering and promotes well-being. While combating extreme evil may involve literal confrontation, Peterson emphasizes that every action exists on a continuum. Even small acts of kindness and rectitude contribute to the greater good. Counseling a friend in distress, prioritizing personal health, or fostering understanding of moral principles all constitute meaningful endeavors. Engaging in good imparts meaning to our lives, a profound sense of purpose that transcends mere self-interest. Acting with meaning imbues existence with significance, offering solace amidst life's trials. Just as Socrates, steadfast in his principles, found strength in meaning, so too can we confront adversity with resolve. For those grappling with existential despair, Peterson contends that doing good serves as a remedy, a means of atoning for personal and collective transgressions. Meaning, he argues, stands as a mature alternative to expedience, guiding us towards responsible, purposeful action. Ask yourself, how can I contribute positively to the world today? Embrace a forward-looking mindset. Reflect on your true nature and the potential for profound transformation. Consider the sacrifices necessary to effect substantial change. Sacrifices that, paradoxically, may yield greater fulfillment and prosperity in the future. In the pursuit of meaning, every act of kindness, every gesture of compassion, contributes to the gradual betterment of ourselves and our world. By aligning our actions with principles of virtue and benevolence, we imbue existence with profound significance and forge a path towards lasting fulfillment. The ebb and flow of meaning throughout history reflects humanity's enduring struggle with self-sacrifice and delayed gratification, a struggle ingrained in our collective consciousness since ancient times. Consider a tribe in the Stone Age, securing a mammoth and recognizing the value of preserving excess food for the future or trading with neighboring tribes. These sacrificial acts, born out of necessity for survival, gradually evolved into ritualized customs passed down through generations, immortalized in moral narratives like the temptation of Christ. In this biblical tale, Jesus faces temptations of hedonism, egoism, and materialism, each offering immediate gratification but veering from the path of transcendence and moral rectitude. His steadfast rejection of these temptations embodies a higher ideal, the pursuit of goodness beyond personal desires. However, despite Christianity's profound influence, its efficacy waned over time, facing criticisms and internal divisions. Questions about theodicy, the problem of suffering, emerged, prompting the rise of scientific inquiry and skepticism. Moreover, doctrinal shifts, such as Protestantism's emphasis on faith over works, led to theological debates and societal implications, ultimately contributing to the erosion of traditional moral frameworks. Nietzsche famously proclaimed the death of God, positing that humanity must craft its own values in the absence of divine guidance. Yet, this void birthed ideologies like fascism and communism, underscoring the need for a renewed disciplinary structure to guide human conduct and foster individual responsibility. Peterson posits a dichotomy between order and chaos, where order represents stability and structure, while chaos symbolizes unexplored territory and potential. While order offers comfort and familiarity, it can also lead to stagnation and moral complacency. Conversely, chaos presents opportunities for growth and innovation but entails uncertainty and risk. The optimal state lies at the intersection of order and chaos, a delicate balance where one feels anchored yet challenged. Here, meaning flourishes, as individuals navigate the tension between stability and novelty, drawing upon tradition while embracing innovation. In this dynamic equilibrium, life finds its fullest expression, resonating with purpose and significance. Rule 8. Act only in line with your personal truth. Stop lying. This guideline addresses not only the act of deceiving others but also the profound implications of self-deception and the distortion of personal truth. Instead, it advocates for the development of an authentic personal truth and consistent alignment with it. While this concept may seem abstract, let's explore its relevance to a specific real-life challenge. Understanding the root of deception. In our daily lives, we often resort to lies to manipulate external circumstances, seeking personal gain or avoiding discomfort. These falsehoods serve as tools to project competence, enhance status, or evade conflict, a means of exerting control over the world around us. However, the more insidious form of deception occurs within ourselves. We may deceive ourselves about our true desires, clinging to visions of an ideal life crafted in our youth without critically examining their alignment with our present selves. Alternatively, we may acknowledge our aspirations but convince ourselves of their impossibility or undesirability, thus perpetuating a cycle of self-delusion and inconsistency. Beware of the big lie, a concept epitomized by Hitler, wherein individuals embrace grand falsehoods too audacious to believe intentionally fabricated. These falsehoods may manifest as scapegoating others for our shortcomings or prescribing a predetermined path for our lives. Lying by omission, failing to confront discomfort or voice dissent, equates to self-deception. By acquiescing to situations that contradict our beliefs, we compromise our authenticity, diminishing our sense of purpose and independence. The dangerous spiral of self-deception. Worse still is the meta-level denial of our own self-deception, a refusal to acknowledge the possibility of alternative truths or the need for introspection. This denial perpetuates a cycle of lies, each reinforcing the next until they become ingrained in our subconscious. Initially, these lies may offer temporary respite from reality's harsh truths. However, as they entrench themselves, they corrode our character and resilience, leaving us vulnerable to failure and bitterness. Self-betrayal breeds bitterness, as we shift blame onto external forces for our shortcomings, avoiding personal accountability and embracing a victim mentality. This bitterness can escalate into a desire for retribution, fueling a cycle of resentment and conflict. Breaking free from self-deception. Self-deception permeates various facets of our lives, from career choices to relationships, habits, and beliefs. However, recognizing and confronting these falsehoods is essential for liberation from their detrimental effects. To combat self-deception, one must embark on a journey of introspection and self-discovery, courageously confronting uncomfortable truths and embracing uncertainty. This process requires honesty, vulnerability, and a willingness to challenge deeply ingrained beliefs. By acknowledging and rectifying our self-deception, we reclaim agency over our lives, fostering authenticity, resilience, and genuine fulfillment. Through introspection and self-awareness, we pave the path toward a life defined by truth, purpose, and genuine satisfaction. How to embrace truth. Step 1. Discover your personal truth. Begin by delving into your innermost desires and motivations. Identify what truly matters to you and why. If you're uncertain, drawing from tradition can provide a starting point. Remember, your truth is unique to you, shaped by your experiences and circumstances. Focus on aspirations that foster character and skill development, rather than mere status or power. While external accolades may fluctuate, the integrity of your character remains steadfast, offering a sense of stability amid life's uncertainties. Confronting self-deception can be a painful process, often requiring sacrifices to rectify errors. Embrace this discomfort as a necessary step toward aligning with your authentic truth, even if it means acknowledging previously ignored weaknesses or engaging in challenging conversations. Step 2. Act in accordance with your truth. Ensure that your actions and words reflect your inner convictions. Speak with strength and integrity, avoiding behaviors that conflict with your personal values. Remember, a single lie tarnishes the truth it touches, compromising the integrity of your character. Cease engaging in behaviors you know to be wrong. Listen to your inner voice, halting actions or words that evoke feelings of shame or cowardice. Cultivate a sense of honor by aligning your actions with your authentic truth. Stand firm in your beliefs, even when faced with opposition or temptation to compromise. Each instance of asserting your truth strengthens your resolve and reinforces your commitment to authenticity. As Nietzsche aptly noted, one's spiritual strength is measured by their capacity to confront and embrace truth, unadulterated by deceit or compromise. Step 3. Remain open to growth and adaptation. Maintain a willingness to learn and evolve in response to new information and experiences. While tradition provides a foundation, be prepared to reassess your beliefs and values as circumstances evolve. Embrace novel situations as opportunities for personal growth and intellectual expansion. Adopt an open-minded approach, continuously refining your truth in alignment with your evolving understanding of the world. Embrace change as a catalyst for personal transformation and development. In summary, embracing truth extends beyond mere honesty. It's a fundamental alignment with one's authentic self at every level of existence. From life goals to relationships and societal engagement, truth serves as a guiding principle, empowering individuals to navigate life with integrity and purpose. In moments of uncertainty, let truth be your compass. By embracing authenticity, you not only earn the trust of others, but also cultivate a profound sense of inner strength and fulfillment. Rule 9. Listen to other people thoughtfully. You'll learn something. We've all found ourselves in situations where someone seems to be talking endlessly, and the temptation to disengage becomes strong. But consider a more compassionate perspective. People engage in conversation because it's how they process thoughts. They review past events, assess their emotions, simulate scenarios, and strategize actions. Conversing helps them identify mistakes to avoid and formulate solutions to challenges. By listening, you're providing them with a valuable opportunity. While some individuals can think through problems internally, engaging in inner dialogues, it's often more challenging than conversing aloud. Internal thinking requires modeling multiple perspectives, managing internal conflicts, and resolving disagreements, a demanding cognitive task. Hence, many people prefer verbal dialogue to organize their thoughts effectively. This dynamic often underpins the classic stereotype of how men and women approach conversation differently. Women may seek conversation as a mode of thought, discussing their experiences and challenges, while men may focus on designing efficient solutions. Rushing this process can hinder the speaker's ability to think clearly and may signal dismissal of their concerns. Speakers often need to articulate their problems aloud to formulate clear solutions. They require attentive listening and probing questions for clarity. As a listener, you play a crucial role in helping others think. Genuine listening involves attentive acceptance of the speaker's words. At times, you may not need to offer solutions. The act of speaking aloud may help the speaker resolve their own issues. By responding empathetically, you convey respect for the speaker and affirm the significance of their experiences. Alternatively, you may serve as a voice of reason, offering perspective and insights that the speaker may overlook. In essence, engaging in conversation with others helps maintain our mental well-being. Those who listen and participate in dialogue aid in problem-solving and provide invaluable support. Peterson links this principle to the ethical obligation of parents to raise socially acceptable children. A child rejected by society may struggle to find willing conversation partners, potentially leading to social isolation and mental distress. Listening can also be a valuable tool for personal growth. Learning from others' experiences and mistakes can prevent you from repeating them in your own life. Approach each conversation with humility, recognizing that your current knowledge is incomplete and that you have much to learn from others. Embrace the idea that the experiences of others hold valuable lessons for your own journey. Without this mindset, meaningful conversation may prove elusive. Effective listening is the cornerstone of meaningful conversations, where all parties aim to understand each other, collaborate to solve problems, and reach a collective synthesis greater than their initial perspectives. This embodies active philosophy, fostering enriched worldviews and deeper connections among participants. Conversely, poor listening habits hinder connection and synthesis. Engaging in status-seeking behaviors, such as one-upmanship in storytelling or portraying a superior lifestyle. Delivering monologues that assert one's viewpoint without inviting responses, effectively shutting down the listener's thought process. Distractedly focusing on formulating a response rather than genuinely engaging with the speaker's message. Refusing to consider alternative perspectives due to fear of changing one's own opinions. To counteract these tendencies, employ the most effective listening technique: summarizing the speaker's message. By paraphrasing the speaker's words and checking for accuracy, several beneficial outcomes are realized. Deepening understanding by actively engaging with the speaker's message. Facilitating clarification and correction, enhancing mutual comprehension. Identifying the core message and discarding irrelevant details, fostering efficient communication. Preventing strawman arguments by accurately representing the speaker's viewpoint. strengthening one's own arguments by articulating the opponent's perspective, enabling robust debate. Assume that your conversational partner has arrived at their conclusions thoughtfully, based on valid experiences. Approach discussions with the belief that they seek reasoned engagement rather than oppression. Reflect their viewpoints back to them before sharing your own, promoting mutual understanding and respect. Additional tips for productive conversations include resolving arguments by reflecting on personal contributions to the disagreement and admitting mistakes before reconvening to discuss. Viewing lectures as interactive conversations with the audience. Adapting the dialogue based on individual reactions and feedback. Make eye contact, gauge comprehension, and adjust the delivery accordingly, fostering engagement and connection. Rule 10. Define your problem specifically. It becomes easier to deal with. When you've got a problem, it's tempting to ignore it and hope it disappears. It's easier to avoid the pain and worry that come with facing up to problems. But ignoring them just makes things worse in the end. Maybe you hate going to work every day, or you can't stand the way your partner chews. Perhaps you feel angry all the time but can't quite figure out why. It's easier to push these thoughts away and just try to get through the day without thinking too much about them. But if you keep ignoring these problems, they'll only get worse until they become too big to handle. You'll regret not doing something about them sooner. Being specific about what's bothering you can help. Once you know exactly what the problem is, you can start to deal with it. It's like finding out where cancer is in your body. You need to know what and where it is so you can do something about it. Being precise helps you separate the real problem from all the other worries that didn't happen. It's like going to the doctor with a stomach ache. At first, you might worry about all sorts of things, but the doctor can give you a clear answer that makes you feel better. Ignoring problems won't make them go away. It's better to face them head-on, even if it's hard. Once you know what's wrong, things can start to get better. When it comes to relationships, it's important to talk about what's bothering you. Keeping things bottled up only leads to more problems down the line. It's better to deal with things as they come up, rather than letting them build up over time. By being specific about what's bothering you, you can start to solve each problem one by one. It's like untangling a messy knot. Once you start to unravel it, things become much clearer. In everyday life, we often ignore the complexities of the world around us. We just focus on what we need to get by. But when things go wrong, we have to face up to the chaos and uncertainty. It's like when your car breaks down. Suddenly, you have to deal with all sorts of problems you never thought about before. But being precise and paying attention to what's going on can help us navigate through the chaos. Just like fixing a broken car, once you know what the problem is, you can start to find a solution. Rule 11. Accept that inequality exists. The essence of this chapter is clear. Modern society rightly seeks gender equality, aiming for fair treatment and opportunities for all. However, there's a danger in taking equality too far. Some push for absolute equality, denying any biological differences between males and females, and insisting on equal outcomes in every aspect of life. This notion of complete equality isn't backed by biology and could lead to forcing people against their natural tendencies, like raising boys in ways that erase their innate characteristics, which can have unintended consequences. The pitfalls of extreme equality. Certain postmodernist views argue that gender is entirely a social construct designed by men to oppress women. Originating from communist ideals which sought equality but often failed, this thinking evolved to view all cultural constructs and hierarchies as tools of oppression by the powerful. Peterson criticizes the nihilism in this approach, rejecting the notion that all categorizations are driven solely by power. While power plays a role in hierarchies, it's not the only factor, and this belief could hinder cooperation and ignore biological realities evolved over millennia. The concept of absolute equality is flawed. In any pursuit, there will be a hierarchy based on competence and ability, not just power. Even staunch egalitarians seek out the best doctor when they're sick, acknowledging a hierarchy of skill based on merit. Demanding total equality would mean sacrificing value itself. While some inequalities may be socially constructed, others are rooted in biology or arise from individual choices. Insisting on erasing all hierarchies overlooks these complexities and opposes free will and biology. In essence, Those who argue that all hierarchies are artificial constructs often struggle to accept any form of inequality. Instead of lamenting a narrow hierarchy, let's celebrate the rich diversity of culture that allows for a multitude of games and successful players. Different individuals can achieve varying levels of success in different areas, making comparisons between outcomes futile. Trying to enforce complete equality of outcomes, regardless of biology, behavior, and personal preferences, may do more harm than good. Peterson argues that there are clear biological distinctions between men and women. Men tend to be more inclined towards things, while women lean towards people-oriented pursuits. Although there's considerable variation among individuals, the overall trends hold true. Interestingly, in societies with greater social freedom, such as Sweden, gender disparities in certain professions are accentuated. This suggests that when given freedom, people naturally gravitate towards activities aligned with their inclinations. Even with equal opportunities, what if women genuinely prefer nurturing and teaching, while men are more drawn to engineering and design? Should we artificially enforce equality in professions where natural inclinations differ? What are the potential consequences of such policies? The notion that gender is a social construct designed to maintain power has led to what Peterson considers unfair attacks on men. Men's achievements are sometimes viewed as unearned due to their perceived privilege, and their ambitions are criticized as oppressive. However, there's little historical evidence to support the claim that men deliberately orchestrated patriarchy to dominate women. Peterson suggests an alternative biological explanation. Women, due to their role in childbearing, historically required more protection. This could have led to different legal treatments of men and women in societies facing higher existential threats. Additionally, women's preference for mates of equal or higher social status may stem from the need for added support during pregnancy and child-rearing. Regarding the upbringing of boys, Peterson advocates for allowing them to prove their competence and independence. Boys naturally seek challenges and social evaluation, often through playful teasing and rites of passage. Suppressing male independence in the name of gender equality can lead to social weakness and dependency. Instead, boys should be given the opportunity to take risks, test their limits, and develop resilience, as reflected in Peterson's rule, leave children alone when they're skateboarding. Rule 12. Take time to indulge in little bits of goodness. Suffering is an unavoidable part of life, acknowledged by every major religion and evident in our daily experiences. Inequality is inherent. People are born with varying abilities, and some endure harsher treatment than others. Peterson's daughter, for instance, battled unexplained juvenile rheumatoid arthritis for years, enduring chronic pain and the looming threat of amputation. Few things challenge the sanity and fairness of the world more than seeing a loved one suffer. One common response to such suffering is to resent the universe or whatever higher power one believes in. At its extreme, this resentment can evolve into a hatred of existence itself, fueling destructive impulses like genocide. Clearly, this is a misguided and harmful reaction, perpetuating suffering rather than alleviating it. Another approach, though it only partially eases the pain, is to recognize that limitations are essential for giving life meaning. Consider Superman. Initially endowed with unlimited powers, he lacked meaningful challenges. Writers had to introduce vulnerabilities like kryptonite to make his stories compelling. Similarly, while Peterson might have wished for his daughter to possess an invulnerable metal skeleton or a high pain threshold, such alterations would fundamentally change her essence. Moreover, there are coping strategies for dealing with suffering. One method is to designate specific times for worrying about problems, thereby preserving mental strength for other aspects of life. Additionally, finding moments of joy and beauty amidst hardship can make existence more bearable. Whether it's witnessing a child gleefully splashing in a puddle, savoring a delicious cup of coffee, or simply petting a cat, these small pleasures offer solace and remind us of life's inherent goodness.